Okay. All right. Now, let's go ahead and make up a table. I mean, not a table. Let's make up a n is equal. What did we do yesterday? What did we do the other day? N is equal to what? How many did we do? 5 or 6 or what? We did 5?
9.
9? Okay, let's do 10 today. It's ages. 18, 18, 19, 21, 23, 24, 25, 25. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 27, and 29. All right, I want everybody to go ahead and get started, and let's go over here and put down what we want to get. Mean, mode, range, variance, and standard deviation. Now, did we talk about the variance and standard deviation yet?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes and just do the ones that you know how to do, and the ones that you don't know how to do, just wait, and we should be able to go over them.
Is the amount of like numbers.
How are y'all?
What?
How have you gotten so far?
I know, I thought you said that too. Well, I have to look back in my notes for that variance equation.
Fine, that's fine. Another minute. Work on it.
Huh? Range is highest minus lowest. Mid-range is highest plus lowest divided by 2. I was asking y'all a question. Oh, what did you say?
Said, what's the first thing we need to find?
Mean.
Mean, good. So I need to find the mean. And the mean is the summation, all of those numbers, divided by what?
10.
Divided by n, good, which n is 10. And that is 22.9. What was that? Was that somebody sneezing?
Yeah, you can't get onto us now. I'm yawning and stuff too.
Okay, well, okay, let me put y'all on screen. Y'all don't need to be doing that, all right? Yawning, sneezing, and coughing. So n is 10. What are we going to do different about the median? The median will now be the average of the middle two numbers. So write that down. When n is even, you're going to have to take the average of the middle two numbers. It's going to be equal to C's plus 24 divided by 2. And the mode is what, 18 and what?
25.
Comma 25. Somebody tell me how to get the range.
Highest minus lowest.
Highest to lowest, good. I just like to know, I like to hear people that pay attention. I like that. Okay. Mid-range, that's going to be equal, that's like the midpoint, your highest, plus your lowest, by 2. So check your numbers. Now, which three numbers need to be kind of agreeable to each other?
Mean, median, and mid-range.
Good job. Mean, median, and mid-range. So what does this tell us? It tells us that we've got pretty solid data.
With tight data.
And no outliers?
Oh, not really, because look at them. 22, 23, and 23. You could say 23, 24, and 24. But it's close. Now, my 120 class this morning at 8 o'clock in the same room that y'all are in asked the question, what about rounding, Hubert? Well, technically, you're supposed to round as many digits as you can while you're calculating. So if I wanted to, I could write, I'm up here in the top left-hand corner of and I just hit that, and it turns everything gray. And I'm going to hit Properties. And I'm changing everything to 5 digits. 5 is a good number because most questions in statistics is going to ask you to the 100th or the 10th. You round at the end of the problem. Right now, I've got all these decimals. I'm going to use them when I start dividing and doing stuff. I do not say, well, 22.9, that's the mean. I'm just going to raise that to 23 and do all the rest of my calculations. No, 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 no. You don't do that. You round at the end. So if you're asking for the mean or the standard deviation, you don't round any numbers until you get to that when you're fixing to type in the answer. All right, since this is x, I get x minus what? X bar. X minus the mean. You can put x minus mean if you want to. Okay, so that's going to be equal to 18 minus the number. And I'm going to hit Foxtrot 4 to lock it. Those that know Excel, you know what I did that for. Those that don't know it, you don't need to worry about it. And there's my numbers. And by the formula says the x minus x bar quantity squared. Now I'm going to take x minus x bar. What was that? Okay, nobody's going to talk to me. Okay, that's fine.
What did you say? It's it's very glitchy when you talk.
I'm sorry, what?
It's glitchy. When you talk, it's like breaking up.
Yeah, because
You're breaking up with us.
there's something making noise. It could be somebody tapping their feet on that microphone is very sensitive. A while ago, it sounded like somebody took a cat and just tore it apart. I don't know what that was. Noises, that's something we're going to work on. I'll try to shut up. What I could do is mute, or if somebody would go up to the teaching station and hit mute, and then open it up whenever you got questions, that might help. But that's up to y'all if y'all want to do that. But all right, this is equal to this raised to the second power, and I'm going to copy those down.
But then you're going to ask questions, and then we're not going to be answering them.
You're damned if you don't.
All right, the teacher's at her desk.
The teacher is at the desk. I want to see this. Who's up there? I can't. Oh, Lord. You going to go up there and you're hung over?
I got it under control, trust me.
Okay. Just go down to the bottom and where it has the microphone, just hit the microphone, and that should mute. So somebody hold up a thumb. Tell me if she did it right. Okay, say something real loud. I didn't hear anything, so it must have worked.
Okay, I thought that muted you. All right.
No, it mutes y'all.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So just what you do is sit. Now I can override it any time. If I see y'all start talking too much, then I'll just override it. But you can, if you got your notes, can you take notes up there? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm about to.
Okay, good. Thank you, ma'am. All right. So I'm gonna do that and get rid of that because that's not yours. And pull the Excel spreadsheet back up. Okay, now we're back to what we're doing. And I'm just looking. It don't look right. Is negative 4.9 minus 22.9, is that 24.01? That don't look right. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. It's 4.9 rate. Okay, I'll shut up. Okay, I'm thinking out loud. All right, now I'm going to add all those up. We'll go down here and add all those up. And that is my numerator for my what? My variance. So I'll go over here and I say, okay, I need to take 130.9 and divide that by divide that by 9, which is 10 minus 1. And y'all's variance should be 14.54. Now, what is the standard deviation compared to the variance? It's the square root of the variance. So to take the square root on a calculator without using the radical, you just raise 14.554 to the 1/2 power, or to the 0.5 power. And that is your standard deviation. Now, what do we do with the mean and the standard deviation? Well, we draw a curve. I hope I went over this with y'all, but if I didn't, we're going to do it. Now, let me go to this right quick. Let's see, the mean. I'm going to write this on a piece of paper so I can show you on here, because I can't draw on this thing. So I'm going to say the mean is equal to 23, and the standard deviation is equal to 4. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means, yeah, I think we did go over this. I'm going to take my handy dandy camera. There we go. And there's my mean and my standard deviation. And I'm going to draw a curve. Well, that's too much, but don't have to worry about this one. All right, so the mean is 23, and 23 plus 4 is 27. 27 plus 4 is 31. 31 plus 4 is 35, and you can keep going if you want to. Let's see, this is normal, unusual, outliers. Okay, 23 minus 4 is 19. 19 minus 4 is 15. 15 minus 4 is 11. Now, when we draw that, we take our handy dandy green marker, and 2 standard deviations is normal. And that holds about 95% of the population. Now, remember our empirical rule. What page did y'all say that was on? Look in your notes and tell me.
399.
Page 399. And make sure you understand that you got 34% here, 34% here, 13.5 here, or is it 11.5? I can't ever remember. 13.5, I think it's 13.5, 2.3, and then 0.2, and 2.3, and 0.2, and some books just make this 2.5, and that's fine, but I like to show both, so I'm going to put in April 2.5, and then over here in purple 2.5. So you could have some books that say 2.5. I think y'all told me that this book does say 2.5. The Math 120 book does 2.3 and 0.2. And then I'm going to mark this. Well, let me do this. Y'all are just so blessed to have a teacher that goes through all this for his students. I tell you what. All right, so take my red marker. Take my red marker and I'm going to mark this red and mark this red because those is called outliers. Outliers are anything below 11 and above 35. So if these were average age of students in a freshman college course, a 40-year-old would be an outlier, okay? Or a 50-year-old would be an outlier. Unusual, we'll put that in a, I don't have any other colors really. I got a lavender.
So how do you, I have a question.
Yes.
How do you figure, like, how'd you get these numbers, 34 and 13.5? How do you decide that?
Right here. 23 goes where? What do you do on the right side of 0? You what?
But I'm saying, like, where'd you get those numbers on the bottom, though? Like, where did 23 come from? Do those change, or is this just...
No, I'm talking about the one inside the curve.
I know. Yeah, yeah, I'm talking about inside the curve, where it says 34.
From the empirical rule.
Okay.
And you'll learn that after time. And if you get one of these off the off Google, remember I told you to get it off Google and put it on a word processor and then print out the pages? You can actually get them with these already in there.
Okay.
Okay? So that's
you'll
learn them with time. I mean, that's just, you need to learn them before the test.
So it's 68 and then 27?
Yes, and then 23, and then 5. If you add all those up, you should get 100%.
All right.
Check C, 34 and 34, that's 68. 68 and 27 is what? 80, 90, 95? Yeah, I think that's right. And then 5 would be 100. And that's, you need to remember that here is unusual. If I say, well, we got a 14-year-old in that classroom, well, that 14-year-old is that's unusual. If we've got, what about a 21-year-old? Well, that's normal. What about a 51-year-old? Okay, he's old as crap. You know, these 51-year-olds, they senile. Okay? I didn't catch that, did you? Okay. Negative.
Yeah,
Remember, positive, this is 0. Technically, this is 0. 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviations, 3 standard deviations, -1 standard deviation, -2 standard deviation, -3 standard deviations. You're going to see those later with z-scores. But anyway, this is considered to be 0. So what do you do to the right on the number line with 0? You add. So 23 plus, plus, plus. What do you do on the left side of 0? You can subtract. 23 minus, minus, minus. And you just keep minusing the standard deviation. So when you do a problem like this, whether it has even or odd end, you should be able to find all of the information I gave you, as well as set this up. Comprende? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's throw something up you haven't seen. And I like to tell students to do this because it's good to know you got to do a little bit of math, but you'll live. Okay? And I do a lot of it on the spreadsheet. And that is, where's my whiteboard? And you don't need to write this one because this one is the same as, you don't need to write that one. That, blame it. This thing's like writing with a noodle. Oh, I'm about ready to quit. Where's undo? This thing's so old, I ain't used this whiteboard and I don't know how long. There we go. Don't write this one because look, is this formula and this formula the same? Yes. What is the standard deviation? The square root of the what? Variance. So this is the variance and this is the standard deviation. So you don't need to write, just this is the formula and this is the mean. Now, you remember what we said was a frequency table? A frequency table is a 25-cent word for a table. You got categories or classes on the left and you got head counts on the right. So I'm going to give everybody a few more seconds to write these two down. X bar, meaning the mean of a frequency table, is f times x, the summation of f times x. Put you a dot. Let's take a red dot. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And put right there. And put right here. And put right here. Because all of those f and x's have to be multiplied together. Now, I'm going to switch it over now to my little camera over here. And we're going to do some. We're going to do one. All right? Because it does take a little while because you got to do a little bit more math than your regular problem. Nope, that's the wrong one, Hubert. I'm not used to these icons. There we go. Oh my Lord. I can't get anything to work. Okay, just good gracious. Thank you for cooperating. I'm trying to move it.
Talk to him.
Opposite. What?
Hey, you go back to the standard deviation equation.
Give me a second. I'm going eventually.
Okay, thank you.
You're supposed to be drinking when the hurricane is hitting, not before the hurricane gets here.
Oh, I'll get there. Don't worry.
Okay, well. I'll write them up here just in case. X bar is equal to the summation of f times x over the summation of f.
Are you really eating right now?
Yeah.
And a piece of candy, yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Why? Can I eat a piece of candy?
I'm just jealous because I'm hungry.
You're what?
I'm hungry. I'm jealous.
I'm sorry. I'll put it over here. Okay. And standard deviation is equal to the square root of n times the summation of f times x squared minus the summation of f times x squared over n times n minus 1.
Just a very random question.
Yes.
Would you not add up all the cumulative frequency all at once when you find some of it? You don't have to divide it by the number or amount variance.
You're talking about in this problem we're fixing to do right now?
Oh, yeah, let's go for that one. Yes, sure.
Do one and I'll show you what to do. Yeah, we're gonna add up a lot of stuff. There's 3 of them that we're gonna add up, 2 or 3. Okay, so let me go ahead and hit this button again. Go back to my... Why does it do that? Doesn't maximize when it's supposed to. There we go. Okay. All right. So if I have a table, here's my table and my classes, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, and 40 to 49. And F, which is called your head count, is 2, 5, 6, and 1. 2, 5, 6, and 1. If you notice in these formulas up here, we have nothing but F, X, and N. Everybody see that? F, X, and N. That's all we got. There's no other letters except F, X, and N. Well, we got F. Let's go ahead and mark F. We got F. We got that. But what do we not have? We don't have X, and we don't have what? What have I always told you about N? N is always your what number?
The total.
It's the total, and it's always your biggest number. So N is the summation of F. Okay, so I'm going to add up all of those. And that's going to give me 7, what is that, 13, 14? N is equal to 14. So now we've got F, we've got N, now we just need what? X. Well, what is X? X is
70.
And X is called we have to have a midpoint. Can anybody reasonably think why do we have a midpoint? Okay, nobody's going to talk to me. Because you can't, somebody tell me how to add 10 to 19.
You add them and divide by 2.
You can't. It's a class. You can't add a class in a mathematical formula. Okay? So we've got to manipulate it a little bit and make it a number that we can multiply or calculate with, and that number is the what? The midpoint. So what's 10 plus 19?
I just thought you said you can't add them.
I can't add a class.
So that's what I meant. I said add and then divide by 2.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. Okay, yes. Then that's the midpoint. So 10 plus 19 is 29. Half of 29 is 14 point what? 14.5. Now, what's the class width? Remember me going over class width back in 2 point or whatever, the first chapter? How do we get the class width? 20 minus 10 is 10. 29 minus 19 is 10. 30 minus 20 is 10. 39 minus 29 is 10. What's the class width?
10.
10. So we're going to add 10 to that and get 24.5. Add 10 to that and get 34.5. We're going to add 10 to that and get 44.5. So now we have all we need. So I'm going to take my red marker. We have what we need now to do this problem. So we don't care about this anymore. We got everything we need to do this problem. So what do we need to do first? Well, we need to do the mean. So I need to make another column and call it f times what? F times x. So take your handy dandy calculators and multiply f times x. Now is when I'm going to go over to the spreadsheet and I'm going to transfer all this over while y'all are calculating those numbers. I'm just going to go down from the problem we just did. And I'm going to put in what we've got. Let's see, we've got F. F is 2, 5, 6, and 1. And X is 14.5, 24.5, oops. 24.5, 34.5, and 44.5. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put F times X equals the first column times second column. Copy that down. Now, what else do we have? We got to get in. Okay, we got that on paper, but we don't have it on. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to do a summation here. And enter. Oh, I did it wrong place. Oops, sorry. Summation. Enter, and I'm going to Control X, Control V. Oh well, I'll just do it again. There we go. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say the mean is equal to what over what? That means I want y'all to answer me.
The mean is the sum divided by the n.
The 403 divided by what?
Sum of the f.
14. Yes, 14. Y'all see the 403 and the 14 down there?
Yes.
Okay, pay attention. Divided by 14. And there is the mean. Now think about that. The mean of what? Well, let's say these are, those were ages that I gave you. 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, and 40 to 49. And we got 14 people, but we got them in classes of ages. We just told you what the mean of the whole group is. What's the average age of those people? 29. 29 is the average age of those people that are in that group of 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, and 40 to 49. Now I'm going to find the standard deviation. Well, the standard deviation, if you remember, is what? We got a lot of n's. Do we have n? Yeah, we got n. What's the only thing that we don't have? And I'm going to pull up my handy-dandy camera. What's the only thing that we don't have in this equation? We got n. We've got x. We got f. What do we not have?
The answer? I don't know.
No, that's the wrong answer. Just leave. Your disappointment.
No.
What is the only thing we don't have in the formula?
I have no idea.
I'm not answering you.
Formula. Look at the formula.
I'm not answering you anymore.
I mean, you
Okay,
can
fine.
barely read
Leave.
it.
Huh?
What's even happening out there? Like, what is that on the top? Is that supposed to be
Is it the E?
summation of x times x, f times x?
F times x squared minus summation of f times x quantity squared.
So what are we missing? The summation?
Well, no. Look at the variables. What are we missing? Look at the top of your columns. You got f. You got x. You got n.
The mean. Nope, we got the mean. I need to go home.
I don't know.
I don't know.
S?
You're close to set x. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let me take my red marker, and I'm gonna mark off what we have. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Cause this is really tough.
Yeah.
N, F, N, F, X.
X squared.
Oh my gosh! You get the prize. So we have to do a column now called what?
X squared.
Hey, what? Y'all cooking with peanut OIL now. X squared.
What did you say?
What'd you just say?
You're cooking with peanut OIL.
Whatever that means.
I don't pronounce OIL because there's always some smart aleck in the group with a nasal Pennsylvania accent to say that I pronounce it wrong.
Oil?
There you go.
Oil.
Yeah, oil.
Not oil.
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 You're saying it wrong, Mr. McClure. It's supposed to be oil. Shut up, you old.
Alright, anywho.
Relax. That happened to me my second semester of teaching. I was teaching a 101, 102 course, and I was saying, okay, we're going to do the FOIL method. Mr. McClure, I do not understand what you're saying. She knew damn well what I was saying. She just wanted to be a you-know-what. She was from Pennsylvania. In the first day of class, she said, I'm from Pennsylvania, and I speak perfect English. So everybody else has an accent.
Wow.
That's rude.
Right. She got to about 3/4 of the semester, and she said that every time I would say something, she would say, Mr. McClure, I do not understand what you're saying. And she knew what I was saying. She just wanted to be cute. And about the third or fourth time she did it that day, I said, I'm going to write it on the board. FOIL. Oh, you mean foil? And when she said foil, she said it just like that. Foil. I've been saying this story for 20 years. She said foil. And when she said that, the whole class busted out laughing because they had so much of her that they were sick of her. And she ran out of the room crying. She never did come back.
Beautiful.
There, next day her books was there. The third day, her books were gone. And she didn't drop. So I gave her a big old F. And that was one of the most satisfying Fs that I ever gave a student.
I can imagine so.
Huh?
I bet.
She was just obnoxious, but she was a prime example of she could dish it out,
Yeah.
but she couldn't take it.
Right.
So ever since then, I always pronounce OIL or FOIL or SPOIL. I spell it out. And my kids, it drives them crazy when I do that. But anyway, I'll shut up. All right, X squared. I know, I'm weird. Y'all know how weird I am. X raised to the second power. I'm complex. Takes a while. And copy down. And look at there. Now let's go back to a formula because we need to read our formula because we don't know what we're doing unless we don't read our formula. No, let's just ask Hubert. Yeah, whatever. Let's go back to the formula. And there it is. So we've got, let's mark out what we got now. We've got N. We've got F. We've got X squared. We've got N. We've got N. We've got F. And we got X. Everything we need to do what?
Did you say except what?
We've got everything we need to do what?
To plug it in?
Plug it in. Good job. So what do we need to do? F times x squared. So we need another column called what?
It's like of the original x, or just square. Like look at the board. When that original x right
All
for the
of
f,
them?
you have to square it, and you brought it over there.
X.
All of them? Oh, okay. Yeah, that okay. I just want to make sure I was doing it right.
You are too busy talking. That's okay.
You know what?
They were. F.
I was helping her out. She had questions.
Say you were leaving. F times x squared.
Do you really want me to leave?
I told you to leave. You were a disappointment. Here we go. Oops.
This my dad tells me every day.
What'd you say?
This is my dad tells me every day.
I tell my son and my daughter that all the time. My daughter will come home. Daddy, I made 105 on my Clemson exam, my history exam. I said, you didn't make 110? No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. I just
So
give them
encouraging.
a hard time. We kid with each other a lot. The other day, I did something really stupid on the farm, and it caused me to get hit upside the head. And my son said, Daddy, you're retarded. I said, I know. I shouldn't have done that, should I? He said, no, you shouldn't have.
What did you do?
It was just one of those things when if you don't watch out, something's going to fly back and hit you in the face.
Oh.
That's what I did. Something on the farm that it's too complicated to explain, but something bounced back and hit me in the face. So, all right. Okay, enough of that. Enough of me being a disappointment. All right, let's look back at what we need now. Let's go back to the formula. Okay, n f times x squared. We just did that. What do we need to do with f times x squared after we do that?
You find the sum of
What?
them.
What is n?
A funky e. What does that funky e mean?
Summation.
Add them all up. So I got to take f times x squared, that column, and add it all what? Add it all up, just like we did the others. And you're going to see where I'm going with this in just a minute. So auto sum. And there it is. Okay, now we need to do some figuring now. All right. Let's go back and look and see what we need now. We have n. We have the summation of f times x squared. Have the summation of f times x. We have n. We're ready to plug in what?
Chug.
We're ready to plug and chug now. We got everything we need. I wish I could write it over here, but I can't. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can. No, I can't. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to put variance. All right, what is n? N is equal to 14. And I'm going to multiply by that. Okay, I'm going to put 14 right here for n. I'm going to color that. My favorite color is yellow. So I'm going to color that yellow. That's n. Times what? Look at your formula. N times what? The summation of what?
F and x squared.
F times x squared, which is that BA number. All right? So F times x, summation of F, oops, sorry. The summation of F times x squared, I'm going to color that dang old aqua, or close to this, that'd be aqua. And color that aqua, and that's equal to that. And then I'm going to put the word minus. I'm going to put that in the middle because I'm going to do this in steps. Minus. And then f of the summation of f of x right there. I'm going to color that dang over day. And put that right here. And what are we supposed to do with the summation of f of x once we put it in there? What are we supposed to do with it?
Multiply it by the sum and then square it.
The what? Look at the formula.
Times the sum.
Okay, I'll take it over here. With the summation of f of x once we plug it in.
Squared.
Telling you to do here, I'm trying to send a signal to you. Look at the what? The formula. The formula will tell you what to do. Okay? Look at it. Read it. All right? Now, over times what? N times what? I'm asking y'all to look at the formula.
Did you say
Are we talking on the top or the bottom part?
The bottom part. I said over N times what?
N minus 1.
So what do y'all think N minus 1 is? I have to ask that because some students, they have no clue. Okay? What is N minus 1? What's N?
14.
What's N minus 1?
13.
13. There you go. So I'm just going to put 13 right there. Now I'm going to do the math. I got everything plugged in. So 14, everybody take 14, multiply it by 1253.5. It's going to be a BA number. So I'm going to take it right here and I'm going to say equals 14 times this number right here. That's my number. Y'all check your math. Minus. I'm just going to put, I'm going to square that. So that's going to be, somebody take 403 in your calculator and square it. And let's see if I get it right. 403 raised to the second power. And there it is. And then take 14 times 13 and you should get what I get right here. Equals 14 times 13. All right, now we do it again. We do the next step. And we're going to take that big number and subtract it. So what is this big number minus this big number and over this number? And the variance is equal to this number divided by this number. So our variance is equal to what? 72.53. I'm going to highlight that in something different. There we go, kind of an orange. Now everybody in here should be able to get standard deviation. What is standard deviation? What?
The square root of the variance.
Good job. And that's how you find the variance and standard deviation of a frequency table. Will we do this again? Yes, we will. When y'all come back next week, we'll do it again. The main thing is that you go ahead and look at it this week.
We can't hear you.
Well, equal to what?
Repeat that. We couldn't hear you.
Said, what is the mean?
28.
Standard deviation of what? 8. Now you can put the 28 in the middle of the curve and add 8 or 9. 8.5 is 9. So 9, add 9, and 28 minus 9, minus 9, minus 9. And that's how you find the standard deviation and the mean of a frequency distribution.
And now about the frequency inside of the numbers, how it's normal and then the outliers and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You take the 28 and then you'd add 3. What was the standard deviation? 8? Or what?
No.
I can't remember what it was.
Numbers above that are actually in the curve, not the bottom line. It's like in the curve.
Oh, that would be 34, 34, 13.5, 13.5, 2.5, 2.5.
It'll be like that no matter what?
Yeah, that's going to be the empirical rule is like that all the time.
Okay.
We're going to get into the empirical rule later with some homework questions. There's some more homework questions that'll help you with the empirical rule. All right. I believe class is over right about now, or a little bit, 12:25, 12:30, I don't know, something like that. But I'm going to let y'all go, and I thank you very much for doing this for me. I'm going to make sure everybody gets a present for being here today. I'm not even going. Oh yeah, y'all did the sign-in sheet. So just leave it right there where the keyboard is, and they will pick it up when they come log out. Okay? Y'all have a good weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Y'all for doing this for me.
Of course. Bye.